All right, yeah, they were sweating up here. I guess. Go from 93 to 63. I don't really have a game to recap.
What are your impressions of Army? What makes Army and team what it is?
Well, they've done a great job. I'm real close with their staff. Jeff Munkin's their head coach. Jeff was the head coach at Georgia Southern before I took his place. He left me a great program, but I've known him a long time. One of my recruiting guys, Don Landholm, and him were GAs together back in the early 80s. And so I've known Jeff through Don. And then a couple of my former players are on their staff who also coach for me. And so they got a great staff, number one. Number two, they've done a super job recruiting. I mean, they work around the year recruiting. You know, they're allowed to go out whenever they want, and they have no cap. I think I counted yesterday. I think they have 177 guys on the team, and then they've got their own prep school right there on campus too with another 100 guys. So they've just done a good job recruiting. They've got a great system. They're very disciplined, tough, hard-nosed, don't make very many mistakes. So we got a lot of respect for them.
What differentiates the way they run their options compared to the team?
There's a lot of similarities. You know, Jeff and Coach Ken over at Navy were together under Paul Johnson at Navy many, many years ago, and maybe at Hawaii too, I think. So they're all from the same family tree. Paul Johnson, who's another former Georgia Southern head coach. So there's a lot of similarities. You know, they're both at times will get into. They both run a little bit of shotgun, a little bit of pistol, a little bit of just gun stuff, which is hard to do offensively. It's hard to defend it because it's two totally different timing type plays. With the, you know, one is a down scheme and hitting it hard, and the other one is more of a lateral type scheme, and so you got to work on both. They'll run some counter sweep, which is different. They'll run some trap, and then the tough thing is they'll throw the football, and they've got all these guys in there, and if you have your eyes in the wrong place, you know, you got some problems. You got to have great eye discipline when you play these guys. You know, I'm big into analytics, and I think after my first year or so, Jeff called me up and was asking me about it, and I told him I think it's a great deal to do, and so he's into it big time. And last year he's 31 and 36, going for it on fourth down. So they've, you know, instead of saying 3 and out, takeaway defensively, you got to say 4 and out, takeaway, because they'll go for it on fourth down,
Coach,
all over the field.
Coach, just the last few years, your team has relished the underdog role. These last few weeks, everybody's now telling them how great they are. They're getting votes in the rankings. What have you told the kids to kind of even them out when everybody's telling them how good they are?
Oh, you know, I haven't really talked about it much. Just consistent behavior by me, the coaching staff, senior leaders. You know, you got to drown out the noise. I told them at the beginning of the year when, you know, one of my buddies went over there and watched old Coach Belichick at his place. He had one sign in the whole locker room: "Team comes first. Drown out the noise." You know, so just worry about what's good for the team, and you know, so it's very simplistic. You know, with all those things, just try to get better every single day. Worry about your performance. You know, that's the main thing. Try to improve every single day. You do that over a long period of time, you're going to be a lot better, and you're going to have a lot of wins.
Coaches, as analytics have made their way more into football.
Yeah, everybody's doing it now. We were one of the first ones who did it. You know, I guess my first year doing it was 2015 or 14 maybe. You know, now I think a lot of people are doing it. You know, now a lot of people don't follow it. You know, there's some times when I get out there, I'm like, whoa, wait a second, you know, but I think it makes a lot of sense. And, you know, sometimes you got to go by your gut every once in a while. Last year against Navy, we went for 2. That was, you know, playing at home, and ideally, you know, you think that that would be an advantage. Thought we might have had a little better field goal kicker, but I thought it was a good time with our guys being a little bit tired for us to do it at that point in time, defensively in particular. But yeah, I think a lot of people are doing it. You know, There's a lot of colleges that have somebody on staff. That's all they do. I'm going to try to get one of these brainiacs over here to come over and help us out. I know we got plenty of people here on this campus who could teach the analytics people how to do it. You know, so.
Since 14 or 15, though, do you feel like it's made you look at your coaching style in a different way and change your game plan?
Yeah, you know, not so much that. It's just, you know, what are you working on? Those are some things that can help you in the off season, and then, you know, what you're working on, how many times those situations actually occur, what percentage are you working at them in practice, you know. So those are the things that you kind of do all season, and then they give you a ton of examples from high school, not really high school, but college and pro games, you know, that the stuff that happens each weekend, and you kind of look at it and see how you would have done it. A lot of it's clock too, you know, there's how you manage your clock, how you use your timeouts, going for two, not going for two, end of half, end of game. And then there's a lot of fourth down situations. How good's your kicker? How good's their kicker? You know, are you favored or are you not favored?
When Christian Montana got his sixth year, he reached out to y'all. When he came on your radar, what did you learn about him, and what told you that he was a guy who could help you?
Well, first thing, you know, was we knew he could handle it academically here. Yeah, I think he's taken 15 hours this semester. He's going to graduate with his MBA in just over a year, which is difficult to do. That's most people, it takes quite a bit longer than that. So that wasn't an issue with him. And then number two, he's a good football player. We weren't just taking him to come to school here. You know, we wanted a guy that could help us win. And then he's got all the intangibles. It's going to be neat this weekend. You know, the guy that he was gave the bone marrow transfusion to is going to be at the game. Christian's going to be a captain. I hope the guy's going to, if they'll let him come out on the field with us before the game, he's going to be there eating the team meals with us. It's a really, really neat story.
In a game where, you know, you might have single-digit possessions going against Army, do you have to solidify, like, consolidate?
Well, the big thing you just got to do is you got to make every series count. You got to make sure that, you know, I'm sure the analytics will show a little bit of that as well, you know, with limited possessions. You know, it's going to be a quick game. You know, they're going to run it a bunch, and the clock's going to be running, and you just got to take advantage of every single play. We got to play really disciplined. We've had a problem with that last week with penalty bugaboo, particularly pre-snap penalties, so we got to get rid of that stuff and you know, make sure that we're playing clean football. And it's also going to be a real physical football game. They're going to run it right at us. You know, we got to have big, tough, hard-nosed tackles, you know, and knockbacks and those kind of things. This is not going to be a game for the faint of heart. The guys have got to understand that right now. We've been talking about that the last couple of weeks.
You kind of mentioned it. These guys seem to go for a lot on fourth down, aren't afraid to. How does that change the mindset defensively for some of those guys? That it's not.
It's 4 and out. You just got to be 4 and out. You got to tackle. You know, there's, you know, when you tackle them, you got to knock them back. You got to make it 2nd and 8 instead of 2nd and 7. 2nd and 7's good down and distance for them. They like 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards, get 1. 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards, get 1. You know, so you got to put them in some tough down and distances. You know, and then the thing they'll do occasionally, you know, I think last week they threw 10 times maybe, but I think he's got some crazy stat where he didn't throw the ball. He's never lost a game. When he had 0 completions, I think he's won every game that they played. I think when he was at Georgia Southern, they beat Florida the year before I got there, and they did not complete a pass in that game and beat Florida down the swamp. So, but when they throw it, they make you pay. And so you got to do a good job with your eyes.
So it's just obvious 4th and 1, they're looking at chops.
Yeah, they're going for it. Against Rice one time, they went for it on 4th and 1 from the -15. You know, and they didn't get it. Rice missed a field goal. They got fortunate on the series.
Do you think that the strength of the defensive line and the way you've kind of developed that area, your front seven, would pay off in a game like this, maybe give you a little bit of an advantage?
We sure hope so. You know, we want to be able to control the line of scrimmage without question. We can't get knocked back into the lap of the linebackers and the second-level defenders. And, you know, that cleans a lot of stuff up, you know, and you know, this is, I don't know how many plays the defensive line's going to make. A lot of other guys are going to be making tackles, but they're going to be the ones that are going to have big influence on the game.
Your offense has put up pretty big numbers in 3 to 4 games this year, but Will Hall says it's still a work in progress. He thinks it could be a lot better. Do you feel that? Do you feel like there's still a lot of potential?
Oh, I think there is without question. You know, we got to do a super job with, you know, what's hurt us a little bit in third down is getting ourselves in long yardage situations. And we got to get out of these long yardage situations, and they're self-inflicted. It's not something that the defense has been doing to us. So, you know, I like our chances when it's 1st and 10. We don't have any that are going backwards, you know, and we just got to be more disciplined in those situations.
Your side of the league is starting to look.
It's tough. It's a great league. You know, my wife said that the other day. She was, you know, we've gotten better and everybody else has got better. I said, yeah, that's the way it is. You know, it's a good league. We got a really tough side, and that's why it's good to play a team like Army, so that you're on point. You're playing tough competition every single week, and they certainly are.
Anything else?
Pretty good.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.